What if you were a kid and one day someone told you that you were now in charge of a whole country? Not a video game country. A real one. And right after that, the strongest army in the world shows up and says, "You work for us now or we destroy everything." That's exactly what happened to a boy named Stefan Lazarevic. And by the end of this story, you'll see why people called him the Dragon and why he might be one of the bravest and smartest leaders most people have never heard about. Let's go back over 600 years. Stefan's father, Prince Lazar, was the ruler of Serbia. In 1389, there was a huge battle called the Battle of Kosovo. It was one of the biggest and saddest battles in Serbian history. The Ottoman Empire, one of the most powerful empires in the world, was expanding fast, like a giant wave crashing over smaller countries. Stefan's father fought bravely. But he died in that battle. Serbia was badly damaged. Many soldiers were gone. The country was weak. And now young Stefan had to help rule. But there was a big problem. The Ottoman Empire was still there and they were stronger than ever. They gave Serbia a choice. Obey us and serve our empire or we destroy your country. Now imagine you're Stefan. If you say no, your people might suffer. Homes could be burned. Families could be hurt. The country might disappear. So Stefan and his mother made a very hard decision. They agreed to serve the Ottoman Sultan. Some people might think that sounds like giving up. But it wasn't that simple. Sometimes, being brave doesn't mean fighting right away. Sometimes it means waiting for the right moment. Stefan became a ruler under Ottoman control. That meant he had to fight in their armies. Yes, he had to fight alongside the very empire that defeated his father. That sounds confusing, right? But here's what makes Stefan special. He didn't just fight. He became one of the best warriors on the battlefield. He was tall, strong, and fearless. Other soldiers respected him. Some stories say he fought so fiercely that people started calling him the Dragon. He fought in big battles, including one called the Battle of Nicopolis in 1396. Knights from different parts of Europe tried to stop the Ottoman Empire, but they lost badly. Stefan's cavalry, riding with skill and speed, played an important role. But here's the important part. Stefan wasn't fighting because he loved the Ottoman Empire. He was fighting because every time he proved his value, Serbia was safer. If he became important to the Sultan would protect Serbia instead of destroying it. It was like being on a team you didn't choose but playing so well that your hometown stays safe. And while he was serving, Stefan was also learning. He learned how big empires organize their armies. How they manage cities. How they plan wars. He was watching carefully. Then something huge happened. In 1402, the Ottoman Empire lost a massive battle against another powerful leader named Timur. The Ottoman Sultan was captured, and the empire went into chaos. This was Stefan's moment. Instead of panicking, he acted quickly. He slowly pulled away from Ottoman control and made new alliances with Hungary and other European powers. Soon, he was given an important title, Despot of Serbia. Back then, that was a high and honorable rank. Now Serbia wasn't just surviving. It was rebuilding. But here's something that makes Stefan even more amazing. He wasn't just a warrior. He was also a writer. Yes, the Dragon wrote poetry. One of his most famous works is called The Word of Love. It's a beautiful piece of writing about friendship, loyalty, and kindness. Think about that for a second. A man who fought in huge battles also sat down and wrote thoughtful, emotional words. That shows something important. He wasn't just strong on the outside. He was thoughtful on the inside too. Stefan believed a country needed more than soldiers to survive. It needed culture, books, Education. Faith. Stories. Because if people forget who they are, they disappear. He also made one of his smartest moves ever. He made Belgrade his capital city. Belgrade sits in a very important place where rivers meet. It's like a doorway between different parts of Europe. Stefan strengthened its walls and turned it into a powerful fortress. That city would later become one of the most important cities in the region. Stefan wasn't just thinking about today. He was thinking about the future. But life wasn't easy for him. Even inside Serbia, there were powerful nobles who wanted more control. Some people didn't agree with his choices. Some might have thought he was too close to the Ottomans. Others wanted power for themselves. Stefan had to be strong, smart, and careful all the time. Imagine trying to protect your country while giant empires surround you, and at the same time, people inside your country argue and fight. That's a lot for one person. Stefan ruled for many years, keeping Serbia stable during a very dangerous time. He balanced alliances carefully. He built cities. He supported churches and learning. He tried to protect his people in a world that was changing fast. When he died in 1427, people deeply respected him. But he had no children to take over after him. And sadly, years later, the Ottoman Empire eventually took full control of Serbia. So does that mean Stefan failed? Not at all. Without him, Serbia might have fallen much earlier. He gave his country extra time to grow, to build, to remember who they were. Sometimes being a hero doesn't mean winning forever. Sometimes it means holding the line as long as you can. Stefan Lazarevic was called the dragon not because he destroyed everything around him, but because he protected what mattered most. He was brave in battle, smart in politics, creative in writing, and strong enough to make hard choices when there were no easy ones. And here's the biggest lesson from his life. Being a great leader isn't about looking heroic. It's about doing what keeps your people safe even if others don't understand your choices. Stefan's story shows us that real courage isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's patient. Sometimes it's choosing survival over pride. If you enjoyed learning about the dragon who protected his people, imagine how many other forgotten heroes are out there waiting to be discovered. Stick around, because the next story might surprise you even more.